Hello and welcome to Hyperlocal in Huntsville. I'm Sara Runyans with eXp Realty. Today I am interviewing a local entrepreneur, Adam Remer, and I'm going to let him tell a little bit about what he does. But you may be asking yourself, okay, well, why should I watch this video? Well, have you ever been interested in entrepreneurship? Or do you think, that's something I would never do? Well, these stories may help you to get some insight into why people like to be in business for themselves. And today will be no different in my interview with Adam. So, Adam, welcome. And I want you to I'm going to ask you to just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, all right. Thanks for having me. This is interesting. I've never done this before. But my name is Adam Remer, and I'm the owner and operator of BlueDiamond Pools. We have been in business for about 12 and a half years. And 3 years ago, I decided I wanted to open a store out here in Hampton Cove.
Okay, so that leads me into my next question, which is just to tell us the story about your business and how it came to be.
Well, been an aircraft mechanic for about 24 years. Since 1992, I got laid off 9 times, and I got tired of that. My last job, my supervisor and I were cleaning pools as a hobby. He wanted to do that, needed some help, and wanted to make a little business out of it. So I go bigger, go bigger. I created a business out of it, and he wanted to keep it a hobby. So after a year and a half, he wanted out, and I bought his half of the business. And 12 and a half years later, we are having employees and a store and servicing lots of people.
That's so exciting, Adam. Again, I think people are afraid to step out into entrepreneurship. They're thinking, okay, what about insurance? Okay, what about employees and, all of these things? What about the bottom line and, what the money that we're bringing in to support the business? So take me through a typical day in your shoes and how you make your business work.
Well, stepping out, first of all, was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Okay.
I was scared to death, but I did it. I'm glad. Typical day, as I'm getting older, they're starting later in the day, as I like to sit at home and drink my coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
But we start, I have one technician, and we meet at the store every morning and discuss what we're going to do for the day, the calls that came in the day before. We just sit around and talk about what we're doing, because once we split up, we don't see each other again until the next morning. We are just driving. We probably both drive over 100 miles a day each, just in the Huntsville area, servicing as many as we can do. The store runs 6 days a week, most of the year. Every year's different. We opened earlier, we closed later in the year. So there is no typical day. We're just
like this would be sort of a seasonal type thing. Do you feel like you're a lot busier in the summer? Does it slow down significantly in the winter?
It is seasonal, and I used to take off I used to say it was St. Patrick's Day to Halloween was pool season. And in November, I would go on vacation or go ride my motorcycle wherever, just take off for a couple weeks. Well, the last 3 years since COVID, I guess that's the start of it. It's a year-round business for me. We have grown and grown, and I do have one part-time employee, and she knows she's fine being part-time. She knows it's seasonal. The other 2, they work year-round for me. Whether it's in the store or pools are still, a lot of people in this area leave their pools open all year long, and things happen. Just because you're not swimming doesn't mean your pool doesn't break. So we work year round.
Well, and that leads me to another question. I've noticed, like, you're in the Cove area, and I've noticed we have several companies that are pool related in the Cove area, but I was talking to you earlier and you were explaining that yes, but they're not all the same. So could you kind of help tell me what differentiates you from these other pool companies?
Yes. To me, a pool company is just a generic term. You have builders,
Mhm,
you have cleaners, you have retail,
mhm,
and then you have service, repair.
mhm,
We don't do any construction here.
mhm,
We don't clean. We do retail. We teach people how to take care of their pools.
mhm,
And then we do service on motors and filters and things that break, tear, uh, just little things. People, as an example, yesterday, this lady thought her pump quit working and the builder didn't tell her how to operate the different valves they installed. So
mhm,
I went there. It was 20 minutes and I, showed her exactly how to do it. They're happy. They have no problems and their pool's running fine.
Okay, great. Well, yeah, I guess it is very important to have people doing the repair side of it, and not all pool construction companies deal with that repair side, do they?
Right. They have warranties. Everything
Mhm,
has a warranty on it.
mhm,
Some builders, well, in the last couple of years, they've been different. We can't,
okay,
it's hard to look at the last 3 years because of COVID and what it did. But um, a lot of guys, they build a pool and they're so still backed up, they're
mhm,
on to the next one and they don't have time
mhm,
to come do warranty work. Or some of them don't have a warranty department because they're so thin on
mhm,
qualified people.
mhm.
So
Well,
we're
this
trying.
leads me to another topic, and I've been hearing from people that pools have gotten so expensive.
Thing I see has gone up 2/3 from what it was in 2018 and 19.
Wow.
And we just got an email from the three big manufacturers that they're going up 7 to 9% next month.
Your approach to serving your clients and customers, what sets you apart in terms of your client and customer services and
Well,
products?
we like to speak from the heart.
Mhm,
It's trust and honesty. If
mhm,
you walk in the door and people say, "Why do you do this?" Well, I want to teach you how to do it because it's going to break someday, and
mhm,
I want you to trust me to call me to come fix it.
mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Honesty. If you walk in my store, there's nothing in this store that we sell that we don't use. If I
Mhm.
don't believe in it, I don't sell it.
Very good.
People come in all the time, ask for a specific thing, and I
Mhm,
tell them my opinion why I don't sell it. They
mhm,
like it, I'll order it for them. Doesn't
mhm.
bother me a bit, but I'm not going to order a case of them because if I don't believe in it, I can't honestly sell it.
Yes, I am the same way, Adam. I like, if I don't believe in something, then just don't make me sell it, but yeah, I prefer to sell something that I can believe in for sure. And I think with you've got a storefront sitting there and you want repeat customers, and it really works in your favor, to be honest. So people need to understand that being in business and being a good entrepreneur, I mean, honesty is really the best policy, isn't it?
Well, it is because we're competing with the online and the big box stores.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, Cheaper is not better.
Yeah.
Um, you can save a lot of money. Believe me, I have to save money where I can too. But
Yeah.
I try to tell people, this is not Fisher Price. This is a pool. You know, people swim in it. There's people get diseases from not taking care of their water. Things happen whether you use it or not. And we just try to be honest, sell the highest quality stuff we can, and teach people how to keep it going.
Mhm.
They don't have to replace it prematurely.
Okay. Um, well, so I know this is kind of off topic a little bit, but could you tell me a little bit about a hobby or interest of yours that might surprise people?
I like water, not
Yeah.
necessarily pools. I love to swim, but I love being on the water. I love being on boats.
Yeah.
My my goal is to sail every one of the Caribbean islands before I leave this earth.
So have you done that already?
Oh yes, we're
Okay.
working on. We're check.
Okay. So
We're
so
checking
how
off.
many have you already sailed?
Well, I've seen all of the British Virgin Islands.
Yes.
I've seen all of the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Mhm.
We've been to Turks and Caicos. I
Yeah.
don't necessarily sail from one to the other, but we're always chartering a boat and exploring.
Mhm.
Uh, Barbados is next year.
Okay.
Of course, that's a little further away, so we have to pay for it every month. So it's kind of it's on a layaway plan,
Yes, yeah.
and we haven't found out what to do this winter yet. So,
Okay.
but anywhere
That's
from
really exciting. And I mean, and being in business for yourself, you have more control over that. I think the last entrepreneur that I interviewed was saying, she would have to take her special, time, her leave time to go travel. And now she's traveling like every month. Um, and for some people, that's a dream. For my husband, it would be a nightmare. He does not like to travel. He is such a homebody. And so I will tell you through that experience. So I really learned to. I'm sitting by a window, by the way. If you keep seeing things change, there's a tree outside the window. And every time the wind blows, it's just changing the lighting in here. But anyway, but yeah, he would not want, and he does not like to be on boats either. So unfortunately, we won't be joining you, Adam, but I know we're not invited to begin with, but yeah. So, well, now, is there anyone you'd like to express gratitude to with regards to your business, like be it a mentor, a team member, or someone who's played a significant role in your business?
well, the first thing that comes to mind immediately is my 3 awesome employees.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
I have the greatest people. Um, I couldn't do it without them. I couldn't be where I am without them, and they know that. I tell them every day, and yeah, I that another local entrepreneur in town. A lot of people know him. Is Bill Jackson, and he taught me years ago. Once I got laid off, to go out and do my own thing and not depend on the man to take care of me.
Mhm.
And the 2 big guys in the pool industry are Rudy Stakowitz and John Poma, which John's a big builder and Rudy's a teacher and a chemist and everything else. And so we just learned from them. And then lean on my staff, who I couldn't say anything more better about.
That is so wonderful, and that you've been able to find folks that you really like to work with, and that they like working for you and with you. And
It's
having
what
that sort of climate in your business of appreciation is great. I think that makes you a good leader too, Adam, because a good leader is able to say thank you and not and to let people know how much you appreciate them. So that's so good. How much time did you spend before you got into the business, just sort of preparing yourself for being a business owner?
well, I've owned my own little businesses since I was 12.
Okay.
I sold more Girl Scout cookies than the girls. Uh, I would sell Christmas cards in July.
Yeah.
I remember being 8 years old, having a very profitable lemonade stand.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
I've done
you're a natural entrepreneur. It just kind of is part of
well.
you.
I've been told I don't play well in the sandbox with others at a job.
Oh no.
Um,
Uh,
I just, if
yeah.
I want to take off, I'm going to take off. And
Yeah.
my saying is, if this job fails, it's not because of somebody else's fault.
Yeah. Well, this is true. The buck stops here with an entrepreneur, right? And so
That's right.
you wish that you had started sooner. Is that
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Could you speak to that a little bit?
Uh,
Maybe elaborate on it a little bit.
well, I've done different jobs. I've had different businesses.
Yeah.
Uh, None were big enough to support a family. And I always kept falling back to the get a job, get the regular paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
I was never happy. It was not me. I hated to go to work. I couldn't wait to get off work. Um, I did some government contracting. I like to fix things. The government's broken. If you're not
You have a lot of work to do.
Well, the system is broken, and I was always trying to fix things, make them run smoother. Not big things, just in my world. I was always disappointed and frustrated, and nobody ever told me that the system's broke and they're not going to fix it. So, I'm a mechanical guy, try to fix things and not just throw money at it. But I didn't know that because nobody ever told me that.
Yeah, this is a concrete example of why we have so much innovation in America, is we do have businesses like yours where people can improve upon things and make things better. And not just say that there's never a place for government intervention. I think that there is. Obviously, we have government-run schools. I was a teacher for a government-run school. And then I became a teacher in a private school that was, controlled by the people that ran that school. And this particular private school was a not-for-profit. And there were a lot of people who were in business involved in the school itself, and they were able to make really smart decisions about how the school was run. And you know what I discovered? Much of it was quite the opposite of what we did in the public school system. And yet school ran so well and was so efficiently run, it just made sense, and I was like, why couldn't we take some of this common sense and apply it to a top heavy, public school system, and to a school system that seems like, and this was something I discovered being in there, that it seemed like there were no easy solutions for the big problems of the broken system, just like you were discovering. I think that almost any system like that wants to create in itself the need to exist. And so if they fix all their problems, they may not need to exist anymore. Somebody's got to lose their job, so I think that we're hitting on some big issues here and talking about your business. Is there anything about your business you'd like to mention before I ask my final questions?
I don't think so. Of course, I'm going to say that. I'll probably say something about business. I'm a pool nerd. I'm always asked, why are you, I don't go out and have fun, except it's all about learning about pools. I want to make it better. I want to make anybody that I deal with, and we don't get along with everybody, and I'm not perfect either. No way. But we want to make things better. And like I said, my whole thing is trust. If I get people to trust me long term, they'll come back to me, and then it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, sometimes we have to have those hard conversations with people, right? Or we have to just, sometimes in our honesty, it's not always what people like to hear, right? But then sometimes people come back around and say, you know what, they were right and they were being honest with me, and I have to respect that, right? So then you may end up having a customer come back to you. So here's just a couple of ending questions. The first one is there one thing that you'd like our audience to take away from this interview about you and your business, and what would it be?
We're here to help.
Yeah.
We're not perfect. We don't have all the rules. We don't have all the answers. And sometimes we miss the mark. And when we do, we're honest about it, and we'll call people, hey, I was wrong. I did this. I learned this. And I'm here to help. If you walk in my store, we're not here to empty your credit card. We're here to sell you what you need and teach you how to use it.
Okay, that's good. So it sounds like education is a part of your process, and you really truly want to help. And I think people appreciate that, knowing that, and I deal with a lot of contractors to help my clients when they have needs for repairs and various other things. I always appreciate the ones and keep coming back to the ones who give reasonable prices and who provide a valuable service and that don't end up having one cost after another that they keep having to pay,
Right.
Okay, so now if you'll just tell us where audience can find you, like website or location, phone number, any of that kind of info.
Okay. Well, we are Blue Diamond Pools. We are located just, if you're sitting in Chick-fil-A drive-through, you're looking in our front door.
Okay, in the Cove.
In the Cove. Yeah. Blue Diamond Pools in the Cove.
Okay.
In the Exxon Shopping Center right next door to Mailpro.
Okay.
If you ship your stuff at Mailpro,
Oh,
we're right there. The easiest way to find us is go to Google Maps and type in Blue Diamond Pools. I've got lots of pictures on there of pools that we work on and other things. And speaking of contractors like you just did, I'm a trained pool inspector.
Oh, awesome.
So,
oh my word. Someone
before
was
people
asking the other day, one of our fellow agents, if we knew of a pool inspector. I need to go back and figure out who that is, and I will tell them.
Yeah, so that's a big thing there, is inspecting
Yeah.
pools before somebody inherits somebody else's problems.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Well, yeah, I actually showed a house back last year. We walked around, we're looking, we see this area of the yard that looks kind of interesting. We discover there was a pool there that they had literally filled in. And I thought, oh my word,
Yes.
if it rains here, what's gonna happen? Like, could you tell me what would happen? I mean, like, it just seemed because what happens if somebody just fills their pool in like that?
It depends on if they do it correctly, nothing. If they do it
Okay.
wrong, if they just fill it in with rocks and dirt, it's a swamp.
Yeah, well, and maybe they did do it correctly. I don't have any idea. They didn't. My client ended up not selecting that home, but it was interesting because we went to prior pictures and you could see the pool was there, and then later it was not there.
Yeah.
Thought, well,
There's
this
a right and a
go
wrong way to
away.
pool.
What now?
There's a right and a wrong way to remove a pool.
Okay, yeah. So I'm certain of that. Yes. Well, that's good to hear as well. Now, you mentioned Mailpro. Do you have a connection with Mailpro?
I own it.
Okay, see, that's what I thought. So you're not just in a pool company, you
No.
Mailpro. Anything else that we're missing here?
No,
Okay.
Mailpro. I got to know the previous owners of Mailpro, and they retired, and it's right next door. So we,
Okay.
stepped out in that direction also.
All right. All right. Well, that's exciting. Well, I'm so happy for you, Adam. So glad that you have figured out that you needed to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, thank you.
That you didn't wait a day longer than you did. And hopefully this will be beneficial to somebody. Maybe they have a pool that needs servicing. Maybe they want to step out and go into business for themselves. How would you feel about somebody reaching out to you about entrepreneurship?
Well, if they want to learn about pools, there's not enough of us out here.
Oh, okay.
I'll teach them. Go into a business for themselves. We'll help them get started.
Okay, well, that's awesome. That's really an incredible offer right there. Okay. Well, thanks so much, Adam,
Thanks,
and
Sara.
have a great rest of your week.
Thank you.